Hi there, thanks for joining Hatha Yoga. Tonight is a balanced practice working on stretching out the various fronts of the body, back of the body, side of the body, a bit of strengthening, bit of gradual dynamic movements, increasing flexibility gradually. So we will get started by starting in supported bridge to open up the front of the body, so we're opening up our chest and our hips, our quads. So if you've got a couple of blocks or a couple of cushions to lie on or books, and we'll increase the height of the blocks gradually. So we start with one block and we're resting with the sacrum, the bottom of the spine resting on the block, and then our shoulders and our head are on the floor. So here we can have the feet about hip width apart and the knees hip width apart. So first of all, just feel as though you can let the tailbone, the sacrum, rest on that block or cushion, and close the eyes, and we'll do a short body scan. So feel the feet pressing into the floor, the toes, the pads of the toes, then the balls of the feet, and then the heels pressing down into the floor. Then notice the back resting on your block or support. Notice the hips. And then notice the whole of your back, from the lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, drawing the chin towards the chest slightly, and feel your back of your head resting down into the floor. If you like, you can turn the palms to face upwards. And breathing in and out through the nose. So as you breathe in through your nose, notice which parts of the body might move, or you might notice movement. So you could notice the movement in the nostril area, or the throat area, or the chest, or the tummy. Notice which parts of the body might move as you breathe out. So breath in, notice, breath out, notice. You might notice that your mind wanders. Instead of staying focused on your breath, after a few moments you might notice that mind has wandered, and that doesn't matter, it's okay. So now we can, if we want to, we can go a little bit deeper in our supported bridge. So we can press the feet into the floor, lifting the hips up a little bit higher, and then bringing another block. So making the support higher, which will create more of a chest opening and more of a hip opening. And resting again, so this body scan starting with the feet. So the toes are pressing into the floor, balls of the feet and heels. Doing that body scan again, up through the legs, into the hips, lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, chin tucking in towards the chest slightly, back of the head resting into the floor. Now noticing if you can stay focused on your breathing, movement in the body as you inhale, movement that happens in the body as you exhale. To progress, if you want to stay in this position, if you like. If you want to progress, you extend both legs out with both feet together, either flexing the toes or pointing the toes, it's up to you. And taking a few breaths. Bending the knees again, feet apart, knees apart, and then we'll remove a block one by one. So resting down just onto one block or cushion, and removing block away to rest the whole back into the mat, and then bringing the knees into the chest, hugging the knees in, knees side to side. So tonight we're going to do some movements where we do 1 to 4 breaths. With each successive breath we hold longer. So the first one is 1 breath, and then we do the movement again. We hold for 2 breaths, right up to 4 breaths. So the first movement we're going to do is we're hugging the knees into the chest, and then the movement is extending the feet up towards the ceiling and the arms above the head. So hold for 1 breath in, and then out breath, knees back into the chest. So we do that up to 4 breaths. Okay, so extend the feet up, breathe in, breathe out, arms above the head, breathe in, breathe out, knees back into the chest. So the next time we lift up and hold for 2 breaths. Each time you exhale, draw the knees back into the chest and draw the tummy in. This time we hold for 3 breaths. Draw the knees back into the chest, and then final time lifting up and holding for 4 breaths. On your next exhale, draw the knees into the chest, just hugging the knees in, knees side to side. And the next exercise is bridge in that same format. So lifting up for 1 breath, lowering down, lifting up for 2 breaths, and so on until we've done 4 breaths altogether. So feet apart, knees apart, palms pressing down and feet pressing down. I'm just tilting the pelvis up slightly, breathing in as we lift up, breathing out, breathing in again, lifting the hips a little bit higher, and breathing out to lower. So the next time we hold in position for 2 deep breaths, so lifting up, breathing in, and then 2 more breaths. Exhale to lower. Always try to bring your tailbone down last. This time lifting up and holding up for 3 breaths. Breathing out as you exhale, slowly lowering. And then last time holding up for 4 breaths. Each inhale, imagine invisible hands are lifting the hips up higher. Exhale, drawing the tummy in. And lowering slowly as you exhale, bringing the tailbone down last, and then drawing the knees back into the chest, hooking the knees in, knees side to side. And then we're going to roll up to seated or draw the knees down to the side and pause and lift up slowly. Okay, so next we're doing a seated forward fold with that same process. So for the forward fold, I like to sit on a block to give my hips a little bit of elevation. So I want to have the heels away and toes towards the face, kind of trying to sit in an L shape as much as I can. So we're going to breathe in to lift up and breathe out to come forward. And then each successive time we come forward, holding for 1, 2, 3, 4 breaths. So just going at your own pace, noticing your back, trying to keep your chest forward and your shoulders drawing back down your back. Okay, so breathing in, lifting up, and breathing out, coming forward, and then holding for 1 breath. Slowly lifting back up, breathe in again, breathe out, come forward. This time holding 2 deep breaths. Slowly lifting back up, breathing in to lift up. Breathing out to come forward. So resting your hands wherever they end up, holding this time 3 breaths. Walking back up slowly. And then final one, 4 breaths. So breathing in deeply, stretching up as tall as we can, and breathing out, coming forward. So here, wherever you end up, we're holding for 4 breaths. So maybe holding on to the shins or the ankles or the toes. hands back up slowly, lifting back up. Okay, and removing the block. So here, after that spine flexion, we're going to do a seated twist. We're just going to go straight into holding for 4 breaths to the side. We're going to see if we can gently twist a little bit more with each out breath. So sitting up tall again in that L shape in the staff pose, then drawing the right foot over the left knee and hugging your right knee in towards your left shoulder as much as you can. First of all, get a nice stretch in that right hip and the glute. So stretch up the right hand, deep breath in. As you breathe out, bring the right hand quite close to the lower back, gently rotating the chest towards the right. So with each in-breath, we want to keep our spine long, and with the out-breath, see if we can gently rotate the chest and tummy a little bit more to the right and holding for 4 breaths. If you like, you can bring your left elbow outside the right knee, which helps to give some leverage on the chest, turning to the right. Slowly releasing the left hand, coming back to the centre, sitting up as tall as you can with a nice long spine. Breathe in, breathe out, and extending the right foot away, right heel away, both toes towards the face, sitting up tall again, and then drawing the left foot so it's outside the right knee, hugging the left knee in towards the right shoulder. Sitting up as tall as we can again, stretching up the left hand as tall as we can, deep breath in, breath out, bring the left hand behind, and then we're rotating our chest and the tummy to the left. If we like, we can stretch up the right hand and bring that right shoulder as much as we can outside the left knee. And our right leg is strong, heel away, toes towards the face. Bringing the chest back to the centre, sitting up tall again, drawing the chest towards the thigh. Breathe in, breathe out, extending the left foot along the floor, sitting up tall again. So here coming into the inclined plane. So again, each successive movement we're holding for a breath longer each time. So first of all, breathe in, lift up, breathe out and lower. And then holding up for 2 breaths, pushing the hips up so we can keep the knees straight, the legs straight or the knees bent. Each time come back to your L shape and then breathe in, this time holding for 3 breaths. Back to the L shape, and last time holding up for 4 breaths. And slowly lowering. Okay, so now coming on to our front. So here coming into Sphinx. So Sphinx might be enough, or otherwise stay in Sphinx, or we can try the bow pose. So again, working on extending the time you're holding from 1 breath to 4 breaths. So I'll just give a quick demonstration. So for bow, we take the hands behind, reach hold of the ankles. We want to try and keep the knees level, not so the knees aren't splaying out. So we breathe in and lift up 1 breath, and exhale to lower, and then a deep breath in, lift and hold for 2 breaths, and so on. So make sure you breathe in deeply, try not to hold the breath. Okay, and off we go. So breathe in, lift, breathe out, lower, breathe in, lift and hold for 2 breaths. Breathe out to lower. Breathe in, lift, hold 3 breaths. Breathe out, lower. And then last time, holding up for 4 breaths. And lowering down, bringing the hands forward, making a pillowy hands, resting the cheek on the pillow, heels out and toes together, and about 6 deep breaths in the crocodile pose, focusing on breathing into your lower back. And lifting up slowly, pressing into the elbows, and come to all fours, and then knees apart, big toes together, just stretching back into child pose, stretching out the back for a few breaths, either extending the fingertips forward or resting your head on your hands underneath your forehead, or bringing the backs of the hands by the feet. And slowly lifting up to tabletop. So here the same process from tabletop, we're lifting up into our down dog and holding each successive time up to 4 breaths. So breathing in first and breathing out, pushing up into down dog, holding for a deep breath in and out. And release the knees back to the mat. Breathe in, breathe out, down dog. This time holding for 2 breaths. Releasing back into tabletop. Breathe in.
Breathe out, down dog, 3 breaths. Release back to tabletop. Breathe in. Deep breath out. And 4 breaths in down dog. Bring the knees back to the mat. And coming back into child pose again for a few breaths. Lifting back up slowly, going back into down dog, and walking the hands back towards the feet, and pressing the feet into the floor, bending and softening the knees slightly, drawing the fingertips up the body, keep the chin on the chest, and bring the head up last. Okay, so next we're going to do the same movement. This time we're stretching up, interlock the fingers, take the palms up towards the ceiling, coming up for 1 breath and down, and then again each time holding for an extra breath each time. So for 4 breaths in total. Okay, so we need to get the confidence with the building strength and building balance and concentration with this one. So breathing in, stretch up, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out and lower. So each time try and hold for an extra breath. Next time 3 breaths. And the last time 4 breaths. Lower. Okay, and shake out the arms. So the next one we're going to do is from our half forward fold, staying a bit longer each successive breath. So hands on the hips first of all, chest forward, shoulders back, breathe in. Breathe out, come to your half forward fold with the flat back. So the hands can be on the thighs or the hands on the shins, or even all the way down to the ankles or the toes. Just only go as far as you can where you can feel your back is flat, in a nice straight flat spine. Okay, so breathe in, breathe out, allow the back to round into the full forward fold. So in and out for 1 breath. Each time you come back to half forward fold, breathe in, and then full forward fold, 2 breaths, breathe in half forward fold, breathe out full forward fold, 3 breaths, to half forward fold. Breathe out. Full forward fold, 4 deep breaths, allowing the crown of the head to release down to the floor. Notice now in these 4 breaths, try and make sure you're in 4 corners of the feet, not releasing back into the heels. And then pressing into the feet, soften the knees, draw the fingertips up the body, keep the chin into the chest, and bring the head up last.
Okay, so next we're going to do the same move with the pyramid. So the pyramid is where we step the right foot forward and the left toes are about 10 to on a clock. So we can do this with the hands on the hips, or we can do this with the hands stretching up. So a breath in and then a breath out to come forward. So we might need to have a micro soft bend in that right knee, the front knee, and then lifting up, breathing in. Each time lifting up, chest forward, shoulders back, and then breathing out, holding for longer each time. Each time, before you go forward, breathe in, breathe out to come forward, this time holding for 3 breaths. Each time you lift up, maybe practice pressing into the feet as you lift up, which helps to balance on the lift up. Okay, so the last one, try the breath in to lift up the arms up towards the ceiling, and breathing out to come forward. And holding for 4 breaths this time. Pressing into the feet, breathing in, lifting up tall. Breathing out, stepping the right foot back, both feet together in mountain. And then the opposite side, so now stepping our left foot forward. First of all, pressing all 4 corners of both feet into the floor. And then again, you can choose to stretch the arms above the head, which is more tricky for the balance. Breathing in to extend tall, and breathing out to come forward. It's up to you. Or take the hands to the hips and then come forward. So a breath in, breath out, breath in to lift back up, breath out. This time holding for 2 breaths. Press into the feet as you breathe in to lift up. Breathe out to fold forward. Holding 3 breaths. Breathe in, lift up, and breathe out, fall forward.
So 4 breaths. Bring the hands down as far as they'll reach either side of the foot or holding onto the ankle, it's up to you. Keeping a little micro soft bend in the left leg. Press into both feet, breathe in, lift up. And breathe out, step the left foot to join the right foot and shake out. Shake out both legs. Okay, so that's enough of the gradual flexibility. So now we're going to go into our balance. So we're going to do tree. So first of all, pressing your left foot as much as you can. Feel the left foot, the big toe, the toes, the ball of the foot and the heel, grounding down into the floor. Then we're drawing the right ankle so it's in the left ankle, the left shin or the left upper thigh. Try to keep that knee out to the side. Try to really press into your left foot so we can lift up out of the left hip. We can draw the crown of the head up towards the ceiling and then choose to have the palms together or the arms above the head. Or the arms out straight like branches of the tree. See if we can hold for 5 more breaths. Slowly lower the arms and lower the right leg. Shake out the left leg. And then we change sides. So right foot presses into the floor. Feel that grounding down, the rooting down of the toes, the big toe. Then left ankle into right ankle or right shin or right upper thigh. So we want to keep that left knee out to the side as much as we can. Press into the right foot and hands to the hips or the chest or out or above the head. And hold again, 5 breaths. Bring back down the arms and the left foot. Shake out. So we're going to come into Warrior 2 and then we're going to try and show you a new warrior version, which is Humble Warrior. So feet quite wide apart, wider than you think. If the feet aren't wide enough, we won't get our right angle with the warrior legs. So feet wide apart, drawing the kneecaps up so we can feel that the thighs are strong and the legs are strong. Turning the right foot out to the side slightly and the left heel out slightly. So bending the right knee. We're aiming for a right angle if possible. We want to keep our right knee back so we can see our right big toe. And then extending both arms out. Fingertips extending away and looking over the middle right finger for 5 breaths. This is Warrior 2. And coming into side angle, so right elbow onto right thigh and stretching the
left fingertips right up towards the ceiling, or left fingertips as far as we can up towards the right hand side. Not like that though, with the body in a straight line from the left ankle to the left wrist. 5 breaths. So to try the humble warrior, we interlock both hands behind and we bring our right shoulder down to our right knee, and we try and stretch the arms above the head for 5 breaths. Press into your right foot, release the right elbow to the right thigh, back into that side angle, and then straighten the right leg. Lift up slowly, toes facing forward. And then we change to the warrior to the left side. So left toes out, right heel out slightly, then bending that left thigh, if we can, as much as we can into that right angle, just to make sure we can see the left big toe. Extend the hands away, looking over now the middle left finger in warrior 2 to the left. 5 breaths. Coming into the side angle, so left elbow on the left thigh, stretch the right fingertips up, or right bicep by the right ear, extending as far as we can into the top left hand corner. 5 breaths. And then trying the humble warrior, so taking the hands behind, interlock the fingers, then seeing if we can draw our left shoulder inside our left knee, holding 5 breaths. See if we can stretch the arms above the head. Press into both feet to lift up, straightening, releasing the hands to the hips, and step the feet together, shaking out. Okay, so we're going to come back down to our mats. Okay, and bringing the knees into the chest. Knees side to side. And lifting up slowly to seated. So here, coming into the half forward fold. So if we have a block again to sit on, it's usually helpful. So first of all, extending both heels away and toes towards the face, sitting in that L shape, and then drawing the right foot, so it's pressing into the left upper thigh. So this is like a seated tree. We're making that shape. So fingertips at the side, breathing in, lifting up, and breathing out to come forward. So you can reach for the toes or the shin. So go forward as far as you can with the chest lifting forward, and then hopefully you feel the stretch in the left hamstring, and then allowing the crown of the head to rest. You can hold 5 breaths. Press it into the hands to lift up slowly. Then from here coming into full butterfly, so soles of the feet together, and draw the feet into the body, chest forward, and butterfly the knees up and down, 5 breaths. Going into the half forward fold the other side, so extending the right leg along the floor, left foot into right thigh, fingertips at the side, breathing in as we stretch up, fingertips up towards the ceiling, breathing out, coming forward over the right leg. So holding onto the toes or the shin or the ankle, with 5 breaths here. Lifting up again slowly, and coming back into butterfly again. So soles of the feet together. So we can take your hands around the ankles or underneath the feet, it's up to you, whichever feels good. Drawing the chest forward, shoulders back. Releasing the hands, bringing the hands outside the knees, draw the knees together and stretch the legs out forward, shaking out the legs. So we'll come into that seated twist again, and this time again extending the heels away, toes towards the face, sitting up tall, breathing in, breathing out, drawing the right foot over the left knee, and hugging first of all the right knee in towards the left shoulder. So we're feeling that stretch in our right hip, right glute. So if you want to go a little bit further this time, instead of extending the left leg away, you would draw the left heel so it's by the right hip. So both legs are bent. So stretching up the right hand again, breathing in, breathing out, bringing the hand behind the lower back. And again, we could stretch up the left fingertips and draw the left shoulder over the right knee. 5 breaths in the twist. return to the centre, extending the left leg first, that was bent, and right leg. Sitting up tall in the staff pose before we change to the other side. So heels away, toes towards the face, drawing the kneecaps up, and now drawing the left foot over the right knee. First of all, sitting up as tall as we can, with the spine as long as possible before we go into the twist. And then we look towards our left. And again, if you want to go progression, you would draw the right heel so it's by the left hip. And then you can stretch up the left fingertips, breathe in, breathe out, bring the left hand behind the lower back. And then further progression, breathe in, extend the right fingertips up, and breathe out. Draw the right shoulder over the left knee. Back to the centre, releasing the arms, stretching out the left leg, stretching out the right leg, and then coming to lie down on the mat. So here we're going to go into Bananasana, which is a lateral stretch for the outside of the body. So checking first of all that the body's in a straight line on the mat. And now we're going to go to take our shoulders over to the right, take our feet over to the right. We want to keep both hips down, and then extend the arms above the head. Take hold of the right wrist with the left hand, and then you can experiment. You can either cross your left ankle over your right, or your right ankle over your left. If you're not feeling much of a stretch up the left hand side of the body, just experiment with taking the shoulders and the head a bit more over to the right, and maybe the feet a bit more over to the right. So going to hold here for about a minute or 6 10-second breaths. And uncrossing the ankles, releasing the hands, walking the shoulders back to the middle and the legs back to the middle, then to the opposite side. So edging ourselves over to the left, shoulders and head, and then feet over to the left. Stretch the arms above the head. Really stretch the hands away, and see if we can feel the stretch up the outside of the right hand side of the body. And again, a minute or 6 10-second breaths.
And making our way back to the centre, releasing the arms down, crossing the ankles, and bring the knees into the chest to release the back. We'll come into the final pose, which is a reclining twist. So I'll give you a couple of options. We can do it with both knees together and both feet together, and the arms out like a T shape, where the knees come down to the side. So holding each, whichever version you choose, for 6 breaths. If you like, you can extend the right leg, bring the left foot over the right knee, and draw the left knee down to the right hand side. You can use your right hand to draw that left knee to the ground. For this one, you might want to shuffle your shoulders over to the right hand side a little bit in your head. You can look over your left fingers, 6 breaths. Slowly looking up and both knees to the centre. Readjusting the back and the pelvis if you need to the other side. So both knees down to the left, or left leg out straight and right foot over left knee. Drawing the left knee down to the right knee down to the left with the left hand. And again, might need to shuffle our head and our shoulders over to the left a little bit. And if we like, for a deeper stretch, we can look over our right fingers. Slowly knees back to the centre, and then getting ready for final relaxation. So making yourself as comfortable as you can, maybe popping extra layers on, maybe just releasing the back with knees into the chest if you need to. So you can have your legs out straight with the small toes flopping out to the side, or you can have the knees together and the feet apart in constructive rest. And it's up to you. You can have your hands on your tummy, or you can have the arms out at the side slightly with the palms up, which helps to lift our chest a little bit, helps us to draw our shoulder blades together. Softly closing the eyes. We'll work on auto-suggestion relaxation, where you repeat after me in your head. So I bring awareness to my toes. I am relaxing my toes. I am relaxing my toes. My toes are relaxed. Bring awareness to my breathing.
And breathing slowly. My breathing is soft and relaxed. I bring awareness to my legs. I'm softening my legs. I am relaxing my legs. My legs are relaxed. I bring awareness to my hips. I'm relaxing my hips. I'm relaxing my hips. My hips are relaxed. I bring awareness to my back. I notice the space between each vertebra. As I breathe, I notice my back softening deeper into the mat. I'm relaxing my back. I'm relaxing my back. My back is relaxed. Bring awareness to my breathing. I notice my inhale. I notice my deep exhale. I'm relaxing deeper. I'm relaxing deeper. I am completely relaxed. Bring awareness back to the room. Bring movement back into the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes. And stay with that deep breathing and relaxation if you wish. Or if you want to get up, stretch out both legs, take a deep breath in, stretch the arms above the head. As you breathe out, bring the arms down. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. When you're ready, bring yourself up slowly. And thank you for joining. See you soon.